Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel, and today we are here for a kind of video that I didn't make for a long time, and this is the Friday night pen thoughts, and this is episode number 29. Although there's been a long time since I made the last one, and let me grab another pen to write the date. Today, this is Lisboa, 12 de julho de 2024. So, let's talk. Oops, sorry, this was out of focus. Let's talk about this video. So, as usual, this video will have several topics that I have here. I'll try not to make this too long, but these videos always get a little bit too long for what they should, I think. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is pens for today. And today, as usual, sorry about this is not wanting to focus, although this is a lined notebook. So the pens for today, as usual, we have two pens. One is this. I think you can see it. It has a red ring on the cap. It has this steel nib, and you can see the branding there. So this is the Rotring initial. I don't think you'll hear, but you have, this is kind of a singing nib with a fine steel nib, and the ink it has inside is the Kaweco Caramel Brown. This is a lovely pen. It makes that squeaky noise when it writes, but I really like it. It is a pen that my mother gave me some years ago. And the other pen that I'm having for this video is the Kaweco. It's a Kaweco pen with also a steel nib, but gold plated, and there's an ink window there. So this is the recent Kaweco Piston Sport with a fine steel nib, gold plated, and the ink inside is the very common Kaweco Royal Blue. Very common because this is the ink, this is the same ink that comes in all the ink cartridges that come in the pens, in Kaweco pens that are cartridge filled pens. So, the next topic is what is going on with the channel. Okay, and this is a kind of a big question, because you all know for the last 2 years I didn't post a lot, so it has been kind of difficult for me to keep this going. But what is going on is that I've not been able to keep up with the channel, but I'm trying to come back. I'm trying to do that for some weeks, but I'm not still there. And I have to say that I have several videos that were planned that I never recorded. I also have some unboxings that I made very recently, or I still have to make, and from stuff that I have here around for weeks and months. So, and I have some other kind of videos, not really unboxings, but related videos, things that I received or people gave me or I found, and I didn't have the time to do it. So you can see I have lots of stuff, and it is all very late, but I think I want to go back and to catch these things and use them anyway, although they are not the current situation anymore, but it's the current for the channel. I have the pens, some of them, they are not, because I didn't open the box, it doesn't matter that I received them 2 months ago, it's just that it's not that kind of a new stuff when I show them, because I should have shown it long before, but that's what I can do. And then I'm trying to get back and resume the channel activity. I really wanted to have more videos, at least 1 video per week. I'm not saying that I want to make many more, but I would like to make more, and I'm struggling with it, and I want to keep going. And this is it. This is what is going on with the channel, and I'm going to try to get better as I can. And the next topic will be which were my recent videos. And the recent videos that I published were the pens for July. This is a video that I like, where I show the pens that I have in use for the given month, and I didn't do this video for the last 2 years. The last one were pens for July 2022, and we are in 2024, so you can see it was a big fail on my side. I also have made 2 unboxings. The 3D printed pen from my friend Dinis Santiago from Portugal, who is trying to work on some designs and experiments with the 3D printer, and this is the pen that you can see with a Jinhao number 8 nib. It is an interesting pen, and also I will not show you because I don't have the room here in this frame to show it, the Galen leather case for Kaweco Sport, which is a very interesting one, and I really will come back for it here in the channel. So these were my recent videos, and these 3 videos were made in the last week and a half, so not that bad. If I'm trying to come back, I cannot be sad with this kind of achievement. It's not great, but comparing with the current reality is not bad, or the recent reality is not bad at all. So sorry about that, I had to move here. Sorry, I need to do just one thing. I have a box full of pens here, and I need to just to move them a little bit so I can move my notebook up so I can show it. Okay, doesn't matter, it's working space thing. So what can I talk about next is about future videos. What do I expect, not promise, expect to do in the very near future is to make the review of that Galen leather case that I told you about from for Kaweco Sport pens. Also show you an unboxing, one of those that have been lying around forever, and I'll try to make another Friday night pen thoughts, ideally next week. Again, I will not promise that because these kind of videos take some time. Many of my videos are made kind of going for it. In this case, sometimes I need to think a little better and to prepare it more, so it takes more time. again, so we have this part. Now about the recent pens, I'm following the kind of how can I say, the structure of previous Friday Night Pen Thoughts videos. And so my recent pens is only one that I have is that pen by Dinis Santiago, the 3D printed pen. And it's really the only one that I got very recently. I think before that it was this one. So this is a pen that is interesting. It was printed with a random kind of pattern on the printer to make this rough structure. It takes the number 8 Jinhao nib. It takes cartridges. It has the threads. The section is also texturized. He also made a smooth section and sent it to me, and you have there, it's kind of a flat bottom and flat top. Here you can see the lines of the 3D printing. I will ask him more information about this pen so I can technically talk more about it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what I think it can improve, what he can improve on his pens or not, and tell him, and also tell here in the channel, not like I'm going to criticize him a lot. I just want to help him improve, and I think that's what he wants, and I think that's what we are here for, not to criticize people. And the next topic is the uncommon pen of the day. And the uncommon pen of the day is the Lamy CP1. And I want to talk about this pen. I talked about it before, but I want to talk about it again because you'll say, what is that special about a Lamy CP1 that makes it uncommon? So what I'm going to talk about, and this will be a problem because I don't really think that I have more uncommon pens to show. So the Lamy CP1 is a cartridge converter pen by Lamy, very simple, very slim. It has this clip that reminds us the clip of the Lamy 2000. It was made by the same designer. It has a flat top, flat bottom. It has this little piece there. It's a very slim pen. It has the Lamy nib, the section with these grooves. You can see there is no breather hole there, and I'll talk about that. And then it is a cartridge converter pen. Very, very simple. And you have this Lamy CP1, but I wanted to show it because as I told you, this is already in some other videos where I talked about the model, but I think it would make sense to put it here. This is the Lamy CP1. This is Lamy CP1 that you will find on the market, and this is this Lamy CP1 that is uncommon. I think you can see, maybe you can't, but this one is a slimmer pen than the other. So there are two versions, two big. There are several finishes and materials of the Lamy CP1, but there are two major types of Lamy CP1, two sizes, and you can find them online when you search for them. You can see this one is very regular. It doesn't say Lamy because it is a slightly older nib, but it has the breather hole. And when you look at them, you'll see that the structure of the pen is the same, but the nib is different. And you can even see that this nib has this part that goes beneath the feet. It is different from that one. This is higher than that one. This is a different nib. They are not interchangeable. This nib is only for these pens. So this is an interesting thing. So when you see these fat, it's not fat, but when you see the regular Lamy CP1, in the black version, we are talking about the model Lamy CP1 model 56. The older one, don't ask me why the number is higher, is the model 58. So 56, the new one, 58, the older one. And just because I think it's fun, I also brought to the table two other Lamys because they are the same. This is the brushed steel version, and this is the slimmer version. You can see this one has a gold nib, as you can see by the engraving there. It's exactly the same thing as the other two that I showed, and this is the brushed steel, the kind of the current version, but it's not made anymore, so it's not really current. It's an older version. It doesn't have Lamy also on the nib, but has the breather hole. So you can look at them and you'll see again the same difference of the nib. This is much higher than that one, so they are different pens, very similar. They are very hard to tell apart. This one is easier to see the diameter difference on them, maybe because it's a lighter color, it's metal, it's shiny metal. So here we have two different sizes for two different finishes of the same model of the pen. So for the steel version, the old and slimmer one is called model 50, and the newer one, not current anymore, is the 59. So again, slimmer black 58, slimmer steel 50, regular current black 56, regular steel 59. And again, just to show you, this one has even a different imprint there, and it says in the cap Lamy 50 West Germany. So there you have the number of the model. The black one doesn't have that. So this is what I wanted to talk about, and I think we are done for this section. And now we only have two more parts to go, and that's the part that I like when I talk a little bit about two topics or make two questions for you to think about and to reply if you want on the comments. And so let's go for topic number one, and this is a hard one and I'll try to survive to it. Is about the pen hobby burnout. Okay, and so what I want to ask you is, have you ever noticed that you have a fountain pen hobby burnout? Do you feel that? Have you ever felt that? Have you ever feel that? Sorry about my English, but is that a problem for you? This is a current topic, and I'm not talking about it because it is kind of a current thing and I want to get views. If I wanted, I would make a video only about this. It's not what I'm going to do. It's just a section on this video. And what I want to talk about is to think a little bit about this. So this is a theme that is very current, very popular, and it was made popular mainly because of Penboy Roy, who made on his podcast, he talked about this theme, can we have burnout with fountain pens? And he talked about it. Also Chris Hans talked about that also on a video she made, and Wasky Squirrel also made a video about this hobby burnout, or the YouTube burnout. And I think this is an interesting topic, and I will not talk about it deeply because they talked about it much better than I could. But I want to talk about my situation, and we'll go back, like here what's going on with the channel. It's what happened in these 2 years. And in these 2 years, what happened is kind of in the middle of the road between two things. Maybe a burnout, but not really that. So It could be, I think it wasn't, at least not for the fountain pen hobby, maybe for the YouTube activity. And I want to talk about this because I want to say that I'm not tired of pens. I still use pens, I still enjoy pens, and I use pens every day. It's something that I do all the time. So I'm not tired, I don't have a burnout about the pen hobby. Maybe there is something about the YouTube videos. That's the thing that I don't have enough energy to do as often as I did. About that, I want to tell you that I'm not exactly at the same point as some other pen YouTubers, and I'm not saying, not making like an evaluation who is better or not. I'm just saying I'm not at the same point exactly, because many pen YouTubers started by making, creating, getting interested in fountain pens, creating the fountain pen channel, and they would take us along with their pen journey. In my case, that was not the process. I started using fountain pens maybe more than 30 years ago, and I started collecting them and trying new models and always trying to experiment and enjoying them a lot, much before I even saw a YouTube channel. So what, a YouTube video at all. So my pen hobby was almost the same thing as with the YouTube channel. Of course, now I can see much more things and have the knowledge of these and get something for free for review and that kind of stuff, which is interesting, but it didn't start like that. I make my personal life with pens is the same as on the YouTube channel. It's just a thing of recording them or not, and I've not been recording it. So again, what happened in these 2 years, and I want to talk about it just for you to understand. It's personal, you may not want to hear about that, but it's my channel. I really want to tell you because I think many of you have been around even when I'm not posting frequently, and I think I should tell you. So my last 2 years have been quite awful for me. I had a long-term relationship that ended. I have to move to a very small house. Then this in the last 2 years. Then I fell while I was running. I was training and running, and I got an injury in my knee. It was kind of ugly, and it took me down psychologically. I also had some other things on my personal life, emotional life, that didn't went well after that. And then my grandmother died last year, and it was not good. It's not completely unexpected, but it always marks us. And then I had some episodes of anxiety, and I was not really well. Maybe I was depressed even. I cannot tell that. And last year, in the end of the year, my mother had a very bad health problem diagnosis, and she died 2 months ago. And that took me all my energy, and we were struggling to try to see if she could get better, to do everything we could. We couldn't. We didn't expect it to things to go wrong where they did, because there was a surgery involved and everything was in the good place, but then there were complications about the surgery and she died. It was a very, very strong blow on our lives, my life, my brothers, and my father's also. So everything got crazy, and she was kind of the glue that bonded the family together in a way. So this was very, very hard. Now I'm trying to live with that, trying to get the good memories and working around it. So all these may have contributed for some kind of burnout, but I wouldn't say it was the burnout in the way we think that I made too many videos and I can't stand to look at the camera again. It's not in that way, it's more the way life took all the energy away from me and I couldn't do it. Now I want to come back, and I just want you to know why I wasn't able to do that. And there is a single example that is very obvious. There is something that takes me a lot of work to do, which is the Diamine Inkvent calendar opening through 1 month. So I have to receive the calendar previously, I have to open it, to try each ink, to record each day a video about that ink, but I have to do it previously to be able to post them and do all that. So I have to do it before the month, because then I cannot guarantee that I can make videos every day. Sometimes I have to make more than one video. They are 24 or 25 inks, which means that I have 2 pens for each ink inked. So I have 50 pens in the end of the month. So it's very chaotic, and I did it for 2 months and it was fun to do. And the last 2 years I wasn't even able to do anything. My 2 last Inkvent calendars for the 2023 and 2022, they are still on a closet in my bedroom, closed. I didn't open one single bottle of ink. So that's the lack of energy that I have. I'm trying to come back. I'm not sure if I will have energy to make another Inkvent calendar in the way that I did, because it's really hard. But I'm trying to come back, and I just wanted you to know I'm not tired of fountain pens. It's not like, okay, I experience everything, I don't want to talk more about it. Yes, I want. It's not the fountain pens, it was the life around these. And when we have a YouTube channel, we have these this outer shell that you see, and it sometimes gets very personal, but life gets in the way. We have our relationships, we have our family, we have our work, we have our free time, we have our hobbies, other hobbies, so lots of stuff. I'm not tired of these, I'm just without energy enough to do it. Now I'm trying to come back, because I had also to drive my energies to somewhere else, and now I'm trying to come back and to be back for you and for me, because this is also fun and nice to me. And now let's go for the topic number 2. And this topic is not at all related to me. It's not a personal thing, it's really a pen thing, and it's about, let me see how I called it. It's kind of strange pens with non-screw fit caps. So what do you think about it? I'm not asking if you prefer these or the screw fit caps. I want to make someday another video or another topic about caps with screws, but now I want to talk about pens that just fit, like without threads. So that's something that I want to talk about, and I want to talk about it because we have several things, and I think it's fun to go through them, at least through what I have in my collection. So let's start. I would say that the fountain pens started mostly by pens that were eyedroppers and had just a simple fit cap, slip fit cap. And I don't have one of those vintage pens, but I have a modern reincarnation of one of those vintage pens, which is this Kaweco limited edition Eyedropper 1910. And this is kind of a replica of an older pen they had, and they have the same system. So you have a cap that just simply goes over the section and the barrel. It's just a snug fit, has no rings, anything, and it just goes onto the pen. So this is a hard rubber pen. It's really a replica of an older pen, just the filling system is not an eyedropper, it is really a cartridge converter pen. So this is how many the first slip fit caps were, or the first fountain pens were. And in my opinion, then, not my opinion, then we had the threaded caps for some years, and in my opinion, the major, how can I say that, breakthrough into the pens that are slip fit caps was with the Parker 51. Sorry, this Parker 51 was my grandfather's pen. I showed you before in the channel, and this pen has, I cannot show it to you, it has some fingers, kind of metal fingers inside that snug the section, go there, and then rest on this clutch ring to release the pressure over the section. So you put it there, you can see this is kind of fit on the section, but you go all the way and then it gets very snug fit. So it's really an interesting thing. It has some metal structures like that grab the pen and then they open a little bit and rest over the ring to avoid scratches and all that. So I have two examples of that pen, of that mechanism. There are many more, and I just brought a few to the video. This is the Parker 51, this is the Parker 45, which is also a favorite of mine, also has the same kind of structure there. The pen goes and then rests on that ring. So these are two examples of the pens with metal fingers on the caps. Then I want, in the end, if you can tell me which of these mechanisms you find more interesting. Then we have pens that have small protrusions from the barrel or the section to hold the cap. This looks kind of specific, but there is a pen that I know, if you are into fountain pens, and you shouldn't be here. No, it's not that you shouldn't. There is no real reason for you to be here if you're not into fountain pens. You may be thinking about this example, the Lamy 2000, and Lamy 2000 has these little two metal things that are a ring that's inside the separation between the barrel and section, and these will hold the cap there, just those little prongs that come out of the pen. And there were several pens with that, and many more than the ones that I'm showing you, but this is the most famous one, the Lamy 2000. But I want to bring here some other pens, and some other pens that I really enjoy by their design. One is this, the Parker 105, and you can see there, this one has three of those little structures that will hold the cap in place. This makes kind of a feel, the one that I showed you before makes kind of a smooth feel in capping. This makes more like a clicking mechanism, but smoother than when it fits onto the ring, if this makes sense for you. Then I want to show you also a pen that I love its design, the Parker T1, made of titanium. This also has three of those structures. It has this integral nib, it's beautiful, so it comes like there, and it stays on over those little three things. And then we have another Parker pen that I also love the design, which is the Parker 100, which is for me the best. For me, there are two very good replicas, let's call it replicas, or pens inspired by the Parker 51. One was the Parker 100, the modern version. In the modern days, this is the best recreation of Parker 51, In older days, the best recreation of Parker 51 was the Aurora 88. Okay, also this one has not on the section, but over the ring it has two little prongs in opposite sides, and this will fit the cap, and this even clicks a little bit. You can't hear, but it has a little of that. Then we have the Waterman Carène, also beautiful pen. This has a very interesting color. This is the coral red, beautiful. And this one has, let me try to show it to you. Look there, one, and there is another one there. So it has two little things also over the ring, so you don't see them easily. And this one clicks on place with those little prongs. Let me put them here. And finally, the last example of this kind of closing mechanism for the cap is the beautiful Waterman Edson. And this one has three of those things right on the section, and it clicks securely on place and makes noise. So have different approaches, the silent one with the Lamy 2000 and very noisy one with the Waterman Edson. Now let's go for the pens that I think it's one of the most common ways of non-threaded caps to close, which is when they close on the tip of the section. And this is one of the best examples. The rotring initial. You can see there this little black part where the nib goes in the section. It flares out and it has kind of a ring inside the cap, and this thing will fit there. The thing about these things, and I want you to talk about these kind of advantages and disadvantages, and maybe I will make a video about these one day because that may be interesting, but just to talk to you, if you do this repeatedly many times, it depends on the materials, it can be metal on metal, metal on plastic, the cap may wear off, or the barrel may wear off, the little thing on the section may wear off, and then it may stop holding the cap. So it's something that can happen. In this pen, for example, in this other filling system, that the other capping mechanism that I talked to you about, there are these prongs that may be on the way of in the way of the way you hold the pen, so it may not be comfortable. So it depends. So you have lots of different ways of doing that. You could see that we have those that are kind of sharp on Lamy 2000. These ones are very big and bold, and they are kind of up on the very big section, so maybe you will not feel them. So you have different approaches, but this one is one of the most common. I have the rotring initial, I have the Waterman exception, where you have also the same thing. It clicks there on this little ledge there. These almost all make a clicking sound. The Graf von Faber-Castell Intuition, beautiful pen, it also clicks there. You can see this little thing on the metal, it clicks. This is metal on plastic, it doesn't make that very loud sound, but you have many different versions. The strange pen from my channel, the Platinum Glamour, also it goes there and clicks on place. One of other things that happens sometimes on these pens is when you do that, if that's looser, sometimes the pen, the cap wobbles on the cap, on the pen, or the I don't know. Another pen is the Parker. So I thought it was interesting to show you that same brand has different closing systems. This one has this part that flares out there. That's what grabs the little thing on the cap inside and closes. We have so this is the Parker Jotter. I don't know if I told it. This is the Kaweco Perkeo, also there. It closes. And then we have the Lamy CP1 that I showed you before, also this little thing there is where the cap goes. The cross Townsend also there, and this is one of the pens that you'll find that, because I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but the cap goes like that. And finally, for this kind of closing mechanism, we have the Lamy Safari, which also clicks there. And that's the way it caps. If that wears out inside on the pen or inside the cap, then you cannot close it anymore unless you do some kind of surgery to your pen. Then we have another closing mechanism, which I would call the clicking on the ring, and I have two pens for these. This is the Sheaffer Legacy 1 linear black. I like this pen a lot, and you can see it doesn't have anything where the cap can fit there, and if it had that prongs it could scratch the nib, so it goes there on this. Instead of being on the tip of the section, it has on the base of the section, you have that ring, and the cap goes there. What can happen is the same. It can wear out. So it's something that can happen. Usually pens that cap with the top, they can wobble like this. Pens that cap there, they may rotate more than you want. It doesn't happen with this one. And also I have here just like a kind of a show off, a Pilot Silvern, the Koi version, and also you have there that thing raised, and you have the structure there inside the cap, that thing, and it clicks on place over a ring. Then you have another version, which is the slipping over a ring and not clicking, and I have this Diplomat Pop 505, and you have a ring there that makes the section fatter in that place, and the cap just goes over and snugs that part. It doesn't have any special structure, it's just because it's wider there, it will fit the cap and keep it in place, and it doesn't click, so it's kind of a continuous movement. And another example, which is maybe one of the best known, is the Aurora 88, which has the same kind of thing. The ring makes it fatter and it slips over, just like that. And this is the pen, the vintage one, that I think it's a very good reincarnation of a Parker 51. Finally, two other types, I would say, like this, which has just fingers to close it, like the fingers that I talked about on the, like this, and then they have a ring, and they may even click a little bit in place. This one doesn't have any, it has a ring there, but the ring makes no function except for stopping the cap to go further. There's nothing, and to so protect the nib. It hasn't any other function. It doesn't hold the pen. It just slides very smoothly, and this is one of the most capping and uncapping and satisfying capping and uncapping mechanisms of all fountain pens. This is the Pilot Elite 95S or the E95S, depends on where you're in the world, and this is a very satisfying thing. Doesn't click anywhere. It just has those fingers that hold the section, and that has to be very, very perfectly done just to have it working correctly. And finally, I have this is a Visconti Breeze for the magnetic capping system. So you have a magnet inside the cap, you have this part is metal, so you do like that, and it just goes, it tracks because it has a magnet inside. So very simple. This is also a very nice thing. No parts will wear out, it just works forever, but sometimes the magnet may rust, or the part that will be attracted by the magnet may rust. So you have lots of because it's close to the nib, it can get ink, and that metal part needs to be kind of exposed to work with the cap. So there are these variations, these are the pens with no threads, and I want you to maybe to discuss a little bit about this. Which ones do you prefer? And I think this is kind of interesting. I would say that, in my personal opinion, the one that satisfies me the most is the Pilot Elite 95S, because it just works like this phenomenally. But maybe my favorite one is not most satisfying, but my favorite is the one that has these little things, because it just closes, it is secure, and you don't even look at it. Of course, in this one you don't even notice anything, but I really enjoy this one. So this is it. And this is the video for today. What I have to say now is I need to thank you all a lot for watching this video, for hearing me talking about some personal stuff that may not fit the scope of this channel, but I really thought I should share, and I will end the video with this pen that my mother gave me, and it is kind of precious because of that. And so we have here the two pens for today: Rotring Initial in blue, the Kaweco Sport, the Piston Sport in black aluminium, no other colors yet. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was kind of interesting for you, a long video again, but I hope this was nice. I enjoyed making it. I hope you like, I hope you understand my reasons, and I hope you to be back here for some more videos some of these days. So see you next time. Bye.